I found this no-name brass plumb bob at a yard sale.
Ack! Flitzy!
Sounds like a plan, Chuck. This thing has a brass body and a steel tip. The line keeper isn't corroded like the tip. At first I thought it might be aluminum, but it was slightly attracted to a magnet, so I think it is stainless steel. A lot of times, plumb bobs with steel tips will have a hole through them to insert a bar to assist in removal. This no-name plumb bob doesn't have a hole. I don't know if the tip is threaded in or pressed in. I decided not to try to remove it. I used a piece of threaded rod and a jam nut to make a mandrel I could chuck in my hand drill. I started off with a 120 grit belt in my 1x30 machine. Here it is after sanding. There were some deep pits and dents that I didn't remove. I took the plumb bob out of the drill to sand the top section. I used a 240 grit and then a 400 grit belt. Then I switched over to my Red Label conditioning belts. The conditioning belts did a nice job. I decided to go over the plumb bob some more with superfine steel wool. The plumb bob gets its name from the Latin word for lead, plumbum. Researchers believe that the ancient Egyptians first used the plumb bob over 4,000 years ago. The simple concept that a weight hung from a string gives true vertical helped build the pyramids. Although spirit levels and more recently lasers have replaced the plumb bob in modern times, it is still a useful tool. Alright, here's what this no-name plumb bob looked like when I brought it home from the yard sale. And here it is now. Chuck wanted me to add these red stripes. I cut the grooves with my Dremel. Chuck loves to polish brass with his flits. The line keeper came out pretty nice. I couldn't do much about the uneven knurling, but I cleaned up the chamfers, re-countersunk the line hole, and polished the top. Chuck was so happy with how this brass plumb bob turned out, he insisted on posing with it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. I decided to make Chuck his own brass plumb bob for his toolkit. I made sure his version also had red stripes.
Ack!
You're welcome, Chuck.